Hello, hello. Try this over here. Wait on everybody to join in. I have my computer open for those of you all like, what is she doing? Let me know that you have joined in. The first person to let me know in the comments enters into the drawing for the end of the month for a free product. So let me know. Say hello in the comments. Hello, everybody. Hello's joining in. Thank you for joining in. Look at Bianca. She's like, look, I am here. She's the person to be first for the second week in a row. Thank you for joining in, Bianca. How's everybody's day been? It's so rainy out. Hey, Lady Val. Look, if you see me looking, I'm looking at my laptop. For some reason, I'm not getting any of my chat or comment messages on my phone. I don't know why that is. I'll fix that later. But I can see you all comment here on my laptop, so that's what I keep looking down at. Okay. Wait, one more minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started with my information that I have to share. I know, it's so relaxing, isn't it? It makes you want to be in the bed. I know I want to be in the bed. Swipe left. Let me see. Oh. It still didn't do it. It says, look, swipe left. There we go. Lady Val, you done taught me something. Okay, now I can close this up. I don't know why I did that. Hi, Miss Yvonne, or Yvonne, if I'm mispronouncing it. Forgive me. Thank you, Bianca. This is the same hair from last week. I need to shampoo it. I was like, nah, look now. This is just straight up laziness, but I need to shampoo it. I will do it in the next couple of days before I go to work. But let me jump right on in and just say, I'm honored to be here again to share my knowledge and my information. And as I share knowledge about our hair and how to care for our hair, it's always most important that we just love ourselves first and foremost. The hair is just an extension of, you know, who we are, what we look like, but it's that inner beauty that really exudes no matter what your hair looks like or no matter what you look like. It's just that beauty that you encompass. So make sure that even though we're learning about hair today, that you're also pouring into yourself that self-love and just knowing that you are enough and you are beautiful no matter what your hair looks like. Fall in love with whatever God gave to you because it's just for you. So that's my positive wrap for the moment. So let me jump into the topic is, how do you understand the health of your hair? How do you know the state of your hair, whether it's healthy or whether it's damaged? So I get that question a lot. So when a lot of people come into the salon, of course, I do my consultations before I do any service on anybody, just because that's something that I need to know as a hairstylist behind the chair, so I can know how to treat you, what journey or what part of the journey you're in with your hair, what your goals are and what your challenges are. So what I want to give to you to do at home, if you're ever like, man, I wonder if my hair is really healthy. It's an elasticity test. That's what it's called. So you take one strand of your hair. I gotta look up. Okay. One strand of your hair. You take it. I don't know if y'all can see it on my fingers. And you just kind of pull on it. Tug on it. So healthy hair, it doesn't break when you tug on it. That means that the hair is strong, that it's moisturized, and in its strength, it's hard typically to get things into it. So that's the flip side of it. You have strong hair, but that means it's so strong that you got to know how to get things into it. The second type of hair is the hair that needs a little bit more work in TLC. So it's more of the hair that may be damaged, it may be weak. So when you take your strand and you do your elasticity test and you tug on the strand and it breaks, that means that your hair needs some help. It needs some protein, because we know how protein operates in our bodies. It builds muscle. It makes you strong. It makes your organs strong. And so the same thing with your hair. When people always ask me, how do you know if I need a protein treatment or if I need a treatment that's going to give me moisture and hydration? For me, when I do treatments behind the chair, I do treatments that encompass both. But I know specifically that somebody needs strength when their strand breaks, and I know somebody needs moisture and hydration when their strand is strong, because it's hard to get things into a strong strand. So let's talk about the strong strand. As I keep saying, it's hard to get things into it. When I say that, I mean conditioning properties, when it comes to products. So when it comes to conditioning, you always condition under the dryer with a plastic cap. That is called indirect heat. That causes the outside layer of the strand to open up wide and say, come on in, whatever you got for me. So that cuticle opens up 2 different times, through indirect heat and chemical processing. So when you get your relaxers and when you get your color, that cuticle opens up and says, come on in and do what you came to do. When it comes to relaxer, it's saying it's coming in to straighten the bonds of the hair permanently. For color, it's coming in to change the color of the chemical bonds in the hair permanently. And when it comes to indirect heat for conditioning, it's just coming in to rebuild the strand and make it as healthy as it can be. So that's that with that strand. And when it comes to products, it's very important that when choosing products for the stronger strand of hair, which is also the low porosity strand, which is when porosity is when you put moisture into the hair and how the hair maintains the moisture. That means it's hard for the hair to get moisture into it, like I spoke of with the conditioner. So with the products, the molecular structure of the products has to be small in order for it to penetrate into the stronger strand, the healthier strand of hair. So that's why I always push people to lightweight moisture, penetrating oils, penetrating just ingredients, period. Because if not, it'll be like a buildup. It'll be on top of it, but it won't penetrate. And then you'll have a dry hair strand. So let's talk about the unhealthy hair strand, which is the one that breaks when you pull it. That would also be called, yes, from Bianca. That would also, how you doing, Miss Carol? That would be called the high porosity strand, which means if you look at that hair strand under a microscope, the cuticle is all open. It has holes and gaps and chipped. It just looks really amazing under a microscope. But it's not smooth. It doesn't look like a full strand. You see all through it. So that strand, you definitely need to, like I said, concentrate on filling in the holes with making it stronger with protein. And when it comes to products, you can use a heavier product with a larger molecular structure because the hair strand needs it. It needs it to fill in those holes to actually give it that foundation to get stronger, if that makes sense, to hold it together, to seal in the moisture because it needs a little bit of help. So an indication that you're dealing with an unhealthy hair strand is if your hair dries like this. If it's like, oh, as soon as I come from rinsing my hair and I lift up and it's like my hair dries so fast, it's because the cuticle is open and the moisture is coming in and going straight out. So you need something to seal it in and say, wait, hold up. I need this in this strand so it can be stronger and it can be moisturized and it can be a healthy strand of hair. So that's the difference between knowing whether or not your hair is healthy. With that one little test, the elasticity test determines whether or not you have porous hair or if you have a low porosity hair. So all of that I determine in that one test when I'm in the salon, because people are like, how you know that? I'm like, and then with the low porosity, meaning the stronger strand, you can feel, if you slide your finger up and down your hair strand, you can feel that it's smooth. So the cuticle is laying flat, which is great because, like I said, it's the strongest strand of hair. And typically it's the strand that doesn't have any chemicals on it at all. And then with the high porosity hair, you may feel little ridges. If you run your finger along, you may feel the ridges of your cuticle kind of being open, or it being the chips or the holes that I'm speaking of. So that's the difference, y'all, between the damaged hair and healthy hair, and knowing the state of your hair. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody? So I specifically, because I know there are always questions about low porosity, high porosity, what does that mean? What products do I use? I feel like those things are so confusing to the average consumer or customer trying to buy hair product, because I get that question all the time, especially when you all decide to go natural and remove chemicals from your regimen or your hair journey. It's always like you hear these words thrown around. They're thrown around on YouTube, and even hair care products throw them around on their product description. And I don't think it's fair, because it's kind of like you're talking over the average woman's head with that word, because you don't know, most people don't know what hair porosity is unless somebody explains it to them, and curl patterns and stuff. So one of the reasons why I created Cadence Taylor Organic Beauty Products is to take the guesswork out and the confusion away from trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I'm making this investment in my hair. Is this right for my texture? Is this right for my porosity? Is this right for this and right for that? I made sure it was right for everybody. So therefore you won't be in fear of using certain ingredients on your hair because of your porosity of your hair. So this is the rule of thumb. The curlier your hair is, the more moisture it needs. The more straighter it is, the more frequently you will have to shampoo your hair, because you have your natural oils that are going down your hair strand and giving you that moisture that doesn't necessarily happen when you have curly hair, because it takes more time for your oils from your scalp to work down your hair strand when it's going around a coil, and that never really happens. So that's why you really focus more on conditioning your hair. You do clean it, but you really focus on your conditioning regimen when you have curly hair, versus when you have straight hair or fine hair. Your hair it gets oilier faster, and so you're like, oh, my hair is oily, I need to shampoo it and get the oils out. So that's the difference in your hair regimen with straighter hair, finer hair versus your curlier hair. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Is it clear? Am I being very thorough? Because I don't want to confuse anybody with it. I want to make it as simple to understand as possible. But just know, if you say, oh, my hair feeling funny, I wonder, is it healthy? Just take your one strand and tug on it. If it pops, you need a little bit of protein treatment to strengthen it. And if it's strong, then you know you need to stay on top of your hydration treatments, which is, your conditioning. Of course, a hydration treatment goes a little deeper into the hair strand, making sure your moisture is actually getting in to the hair strand. Any questions? I don't see any more comments, but I'm still on here. Y'all still there with me? Does anybody have any questions? I see Bianca on here educating. Uh-oh. Any questions, anybody? I need to swipe left again. No, I see the comments. Okay, well, if I don't, my hair is curly, it's really dry, and it breaks easily.